Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. It is November the 22nd. Thank you for taking some time to join me. It's wonderful, and thank you for all of the support for my channel. It's amazing. Just a quick comment. I was going through my comments yesterday, from yesterday's reading, and I was blown away. I was blown away at how supportive everybody was of each other, and the comments that were, well, this is what I know, and oh, what else do you know, and I'm kind of down, and a bunch of people are like, no, stay positive, it's all going to be good. I was like so impressed. You guys are just unbelievably amazing. So that made me really, really happy that my channel can be used as a forum for my viewers to connect with each other in such a positive and supportive way. I could not be happier. So thank you. So today I want to do a wee little bit of a reading on two people that I actually haven't read on before. One is Devin Nunes, and the other one is John Bolton. So let's start with Nunes, because, yesterday Eric Swalwell, entered that Politico article into the official record of the hearings. And honestly, to be fair, I'm not absolutely clear of what's going on there, but this Lev Parnas, the guy from Ukraine or Russia, who was working with Giuliani, he apparently has let it be known, because he apparently is cooperating, that he was working with Nunes or something to that effect, and that Nunes is actually a little bit more tied up in this than perhaps we realized. And it was very interesting to me as that information was, sort of being publicized yesterday during those hearings, that Nunes definitely had that hanging his head in shame thing going on, where he didn't want to make eye contact with anybody. Wow. I wonder if that's a sign of feeling a little guilty. So let's take a look at Devin Nunes, and let's just see kind of how this is unfolding for him, or how this is going to unfold for him, because of course, he has been a loyal soldier in Trump's army. And it's going to be interesting to see if, just how that works, like what goes on there. So, come on down. I have a question. Hold on, I'm going to move you back just a bit. Come on down, and let's see what we can find out about Devin Nunes. All right, so tell us about Devin Nunes. Tell us about Devin Nunes. Tell us about Devin Nunes. He loves the attention, the notoriety, the feeling that, the president is well pleased with him, the feeling that, he is standing up and representing the Republican Party. He sees what is going on now, and the exposure, if you will, that he is getting, aside from the whole Politico article thing. But for all of the rest, he actually sees it as sort of a stepping stone to bigger and brighter things. Now, I have heard that he is actually just trying to get a gig at Fox News. And that may well be true. But this is the thing with him. He is absolutely prepared to carry whatever burden he needs to carry for Trump to stay on the right side of that, that far right conservative movement. He's a fraud, and he's a phony, and I'm honestly not that sure he's all that particularly clever. And he lies. Oh my God, does he lie? You know, his opening statements are always about, you know, the Ukraine interfering in the election. It's like, he just doesn't care what he says. He doesn't care if it's truth or lies. He is in this for himself and his own adoration, and he understands the way for him to build momentum for his long-term goals is to stay solidly with and behind not only Trump, but that whole right-wing kind of narrative. He does this. He is doing this for his own reasons. Yep. You know what? To some degree, there's money or finances or, you know, something coming to him, or something that it's more like something he will do almost anything to keep what he wants rolling toward him, coming towards him. I mean, very much like a mercenary, right? I will do your bidding. My price is this. Pay me my price and I'll say whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want. So that's where he's sitting right now. And it's kind of bizarre, but I'm not actually convinced that he doesn't believe what he says. I actually think that energetically, same old thing, right? He's been telling the story for so long. The lines between truth and fallacy have completely merged and blurred, and he now believes the thing he says, or at the very least, he believes that it is serving his purpose. So, you've got more secrets coming out. There's going to be a few more things discovered about Nunes. You know, reporters, when there is a little nibble, you know, so you're going to see more stories about him. There's going to be more that's going to be uncovered, and really it's going to start to look, or there's going to become a bigger awareness of exactly not only how far from the truth he is operating, but truly how far from the truth he is really comfortable and very pleased to operate. There's still a lot of secrets that are going to come to pass with him. And some of these secrets are really, really not going to put him in a very good light. Some of what's going to come out has more of an international flavor. So, you know, dealings with, I'm sure, Russia or other countries. But there's some stuff that he definitely wants, you know, to keep hidden. And I'm just energetically kind of getting the feeling that there may be a little bit of more smutty stuff, if you will. I don't have clarity, so I'm sort of hesitating to label it, but it feels as if there's going to be some information that comes out that just isn't about corruption, but that honestly has a lot more to do with personal, moral character and compass. So it will be interesting to see if that comes to pass. You know, this is the thing with him, is he is completely convinced that his road to success and happiness on the world stage is absolutely tied to, you know, Trump and that Fox News group. Well, okay, so unfortunately for Devin, his fortunes are going to be changing as the truth comes out, and it's going to force him into a position of retreat. Now, I have been asking my pendulum if he's actually going to be reelected the next time he comes up for election, and I'm not not sure if he actually comes up in 2020. For some reason, I think maybe not. However, I'm sure I'll find out. But the answer right now is sort of yes, no. Like there isn't really a lot of clarity on that. So that is interesting because I have to believe that his constituents cannot be all that proud of him, which, frankly, makes me wonder what is going on in the background that might possibly help him win that election if, in fact, he does. But, irregardless, the judgments coming down on him are going to be harsh, they're going to be swift, and they're not going to be kind. And ultimately, he is going to have to walk away. In disappointment, he is going to have to leave the arena he is in. Now, do I think that that means he's going to disappear? I actually don't. I think that that is going to literally catapult him into some sort of position within that right wing. You know, whether it is at Fox as a commentator, I don't know. But it actually doesn't appear as if he's going to suffer long-lasting repercussions. He is in legal and political jeopardy, and I guess it's just going to be, honestly, interesting to see how that unfolds, because energetically, things really do seem to be kind of like in a state of flux. But the thing that he is counting on is that, you know, he thinks his strength is that he can just speak with such assurance and such authority that people don't question him. Well, guess what? Most people think you're a bit of a goof. And ultimately, it's going to leave him out in the cold, disappointed, and having to walk away. So, there we go, Mr. Nunes. Yeah. You know, it's the same thing, right? Communications that come out, information that comes out, things that end up being spoken about and conversed about end up creating a wee little bit of emotional of a reaction. And again, things that are going to come out that are not going to cast him in a very good light. And frankly, that's curious, because you would think everything that's already come out is not casting him in a very good light. But apparently, sorry for all the people out there whose dogs are now barking. He's in legal jeopardy. He's in political jeopardy. He's going to pay a price for it. But at this moment, whether it is a reality or not, the energy around him is that he truly believes this is his road. This is his path to success. I guess the question is, you know, is he as delusional as his boss? Because it definitely doesn't look like that road that he is trying to get to is going to be easily achieved. It's kind of full of, you know, pit holes. So that is interesting. Is he going to continue to kind of be a goof? Yeah, he is. And part of the reason is, I don't know, I can't get a handle on it, but somehow or another, there are things in his closet. There are not only actual physical things, like, you know, whether it is money or whatever, you know, documentation, paperwork, whatever it is. But there is also this real sort of emotional blindness that seems to be going on with him, where he really doesn't seem to be acknowledging or understanding that he has backed himself up against a wall, and ultimately he is not going to have a great deal of room to move. So, wow, Mr. Nunes, I guess it might be a little bumpy for you on the road ahead. Okay, so just while I'm shuffling the cards, excuse me, because I'm probably going to be looking down more than up. I've gotten some interesting requests and comments about my cards and the way I lay them out. So, and one of my viewers, and I don't remember your name, I am sorry, but in one of my comments very recently, she said that she has sort of labeled the way I put out the cards or display the cards as the Canadian maple leaf, which I absolutely love. So officially going forward, that's going to be kind of the name for this that I do. What you need to understand is, because I read so intuitively, the first 4 cards that I put down typically give me the context of the reading, the foundation of the reading. It sort of gives me the beginning of the story, if you will. The rest of the cards are literally, in terms of the numbers and in terms of where they get placed, is completely intuitive. Sometimes I'll pull 1 card, sometimes 4 or 5. It just is completely intuitive. I just am following what kind of feels right. And so if it appears that there honestly really isn't kind of a rhyme or reason to the way I do things, you're right, there isn't, because it really is an intuitive process. So I hope that clears things up, at least a little bit. But from now on, henceforth, this is going to be called the Canadian maple leaf. I love that. Okay, let's focus in a little bit on John Bolton. What's the story with him? I mean, he's getting a lot of flack, right? Because he keeps spouting and leaking and talking about the fact that he knows stuff that nobody else knows. And there's a lot that has to come out that hasn't come out. And you know, he's the keeper of these secrets and he knows them. But, you know, he's not talking because, you know, he has that $2 million book deal on the line and he doesn't want to give away all the secrets, because to do that would mean that, you know, his book wouldn't be in kind of demand the way he hopes and thinks it will be. So energetically, I can tell you this, by time Bolton's book comes out, people are going to have sort of developed a bit of a negative attitude towards that behavior, or towards what went on during this time frame when he was fundamentally holding back information that the American people need and require, because it was, you know, going to serve his own his own financial purposes, to hold that information back. So he's not going to end up looking very good. So really the question becomes is, does he at some point cave to the continual sort of negative press, if you will, that he is getting at this point? So come on down and let's take a quick look at John Bolton. So let's find out about John Bolton. What is the story with John Bolton? Whoopsie. Does he buckle to the pressure or hold out for the money? Let's find out. Tell me about John Bolton. Tell me about John Bolton. Tell me about John Bolton. All right, well, he definitely feels, okay, he is operating at this point in time from a position of strength. And the reason he is operating from that position of strength is because he knows things about what's going on in the White House that some of it is stuff that we kind of already know, but he has a lot more details that he can share, which would fill out some of the blanks and give more color to the story, so there's a better understanding. But there is some stuff that the people at those higher levels, the Pompeos, the Mnuchins, interesting, the Mulvaney's, Barr, There are things that those people are still working very, very hard to conceal and not let out. And he knows what some of that stuff is. And so, as a result of that, he really is in a position of strength because, of course, those people don't want to talk. They got nothing to say about this, which means if he's the only one who's willing to talk, he actually has leverage at this point about what's going on. However, it looks as if the burden is going to start to get to him, and the continual negative press about him holding back is actually going to perhaps have some effect, because he's starting to recognize that either he spills at least some of the goods, or it's not going, his reputation is going to start to suffer, because he's very much going to look like he's only in it for the money, and he doesn't care about what is happening in the, in the United States and in the government and in the Trump administration, which, of course, we know isn't true, because he left because he couldn't stand what was going on, or at the very least, he didn't want to be implicated in all of the wrongdoings. So he knows that what's going on there is not cool. So he's being made offers now, and he's standing behind the, I'm waiting for the court decision, the court ruling about whether, we have to testify. But he actually wants to testify, but he's really torn right now between some sort of sense of loyalty to, it's not to Trump, but it's almost like he's hesitant to sort of sell out some of his comrades in arms, if you will. Okay, some of the people that he has worked closely with over the years, he's not that anxious to sort of smear their reputation. But the other side of it is that he very clearly knows that there's stuff that he needs to tell. So he right now is sitting in a position of he doesn't really have a great deal of clarity about what he wants to do. He knows what he should do, and he also knows, what he wants to do. What he wants to do is make a lot of money. What he should do is, make clear the stuff that is going on that is illegal and corrupt and dangerous. I think I don't think his what he has to say is going to come up, or we're not going to find out what it is until we get to the Senate. So this is sort of what's happening, right? You've got the hearings are wrapping up or coming to an end, or, the bulk of the information is out there. So now it has to go, I guess it's to the judiciary to for them to look at it and then actually figure out what articles of impeachment they're going to write up. And then it has to go to the House for a vote. And when it goes to the House for a vote, the Democrats have the votes to issue the articles of impeachment and move this thing forward to a trial. Once the trial happens, of course, it goes to the Senate, where Mitch McConnell and the Republicans have control. So I think that could be when he actually starts talking. The secrets are going to come out at a time when there is judgments being made, and he has some of the goods to share. So I guess we can look forward to that and see if that happens. But yeah, he has stuff to tell. He's still very interested in sort of, protecting his own back and protecting his security and finances going forward. But there is also actually a sense to some degree of, loyalty to the Constitution, loyalty to the country. And so I guess there's hope. I guess that's what I'm saying. So That's what I know right now about Devin Nunes and John Bolton. So once again, thank you so very much for all of your support. It has been fabulous. Keep up the thumbs up and the comments, which are brilliant, and the subscriptions are great. So I thank all of you for all of that. Enjoy your weekend. You guys in the United States are moving closer and closer to Thanksgiving. And I know not only myself, but a number of other readers had told you that, you know what, by the time Thanksgiving rolled around, you were going to have a lot more clarity, and you do. So, maybe there should be some interesting conversations around the turkey dining room table. But as you move towards that, and this I guess would be the last weekend before, your Thanksgiving kind of week, enjoy it, connect, stay calm, stay centered, and I will look forward to seeing you again on Monday. And until then, take care, be well, and I'll see you soon. Bye.